Okay, hi, my name is Jay Caesar. I'm going to be my project demonstration video. I'm part of Spearmint Studios. The name of our game is Project Peppermint. So we will go through here, playing through the level as one continuous run. So let's go to Perforce and launch the executable. So we have our splash screen showing our logo. We'll go to start, and the ranged weapon is what I worked on for this sprint. So first things first, we have the our NPC right there in front of us to moving to catch our attention. We have two landmarks that you can see, the mountain on the left and the mountain on the right. If you look around, there's not really much else there. But have the player walk up to them and automatically interacts with them so they can't really miss it. It says keep our distance, learn how to use range actions, gather material, go punch a tree and gather 3 rope. So the player can easily see trees, so they start punching the trees and they get the wood and end up looking around. They see there's mushrooms on the ground, there's some rocks they can hit. Enemies can spawn because it just turned nighttime, which is that noise. This makes it a bit more difficult for them. Each night enemies should spawn and be able to make the player have to move around and attack. Keeps them on edge. Okay. So if the player's in this little area and they're looking around for any rope, they won't see any, not immediately. And then they end up seeing some here, which gives them that. They also know this chest for them. When they interact with it, something spawns for them, which are power-ups that can be picked up by them. It says keep our distance and return to the random woman. So return to her, it says E to talk. Let's gather some materials, accept the reward. The reward gives some bread for the player so they know that there is something that they can eat or give them a reason to. With mushrooms as well. So E to talk to her again. Craft a bow, which now when we go to talk to her, we can't do it, but when we go to C, because it says up in the left to craft the bow. Wooden bow, craft, and inventory, they will have their bow that they can equip. Right now they don't have arrows. When they try to use it, it says not enough arrows. But since they could craft the bow, return to the woman. The rewards are 25 arrows and some coins. They collect the rewards, and now they have arrows. They speak to her again. It says gather 20 wood, 20 rocks, destroy 3 of the mechs. So as they go around, they start gathering rocks. They just picked up an apple from that tree. They did get a power, so it's a bit easier to consume. At this point as well, the player can notice that if their hunger on the left is going down, or health, if they do want to test out eating, they can see that eating makes their hunger bar go up and their health. There is a small bug happening right now where the items are not removed from the inventory. Okay, so we took out one of the MX. The objectives are updating. They can pick up more of the rocks to finish that one. They come out here, they see the mechs walking around the area. This little guy. Alright, all 3 mechs destroyed. They're dropping coins as well. That one survived. Okay, so return to the random woman. So at this point, if the player is just following the tutorial, I'm not sure what's there. Another bug we have to look into. There's something invisible. Speak to her. She said thanks and stuff. Maybe we get some more food for us to use. Then we speak to her again. It says trigger 3 targets with an arrow. Get to the other side of the wall and find the big boss and kill them. Accept this. This is to tell the player basically to start exploring. Figure out what these targets are. Figure out where the big boss is. Figure out where that wall is that we're supposed to get over. Which it leads them to believe it's this, since this looks a bit different. They run into this here. Or even if they wanted to and they see that they have the rope and stuff. With the crafting section, they can see that there's a bunch of different things. So if these players can craft new weapons, which will increase their damage up close. Yes, this is a range level, but it's to introduce range weaponry. So this here, they spawn enemies with these totems, and as they fight the enemies, they can pick up the enemies' coins. And if they destroy all the enemies that were from this totem, it expands and it drops them a power-up. The adrenaline increases their speed, increases their health and things when their health is low. Since our health is low, we're going to eat a few things. Alright, let's take care of this enemy, try to get some more coins and things. Get some more to craft, because we want to make sure that we have the bow and stuff for later on. There's another chest here that is in the beginning that drops another power up. Another battle tower, which we will launch again. You see these enemies have a bit more health each day, or these enemies have a chance of spawning as elites, which was worked on as well. And they also have the chance of spawning with more health. Our hunger drain now is a bit slower. Our attack speed is a bit faster. We'll do one more of these. Okay, just to get through, get some power-ups to help us out. Giving those power-ups to make so the player has things to do. It's not just a direct to threat and try to finish the game. Kind of makes them want to explore. The faster you move, the more damage you do. Mushrooms and things for them to pick up. And here's the rock quarry. This is to help them so they can make more arrows and things. Enemies. So far, the enemy or the player has opened up 2 chests. Both of those are free, and they come here. Sure that you can see that there's a target here. I can shoot that. Okay, get rid of this enemy. Here's another chest. This one also is a free one. Let's see. Destroy that. Totem. It's nighttime again, so enemies are spawning. Here's another target, and these targets can't be hit. They have to use the bow. So the player is out of arrows, which we have 2 more. They will have to figure out how to make some more, which we can craft really quick. Yes, I understand this can be tedious, but it's one way to make them get what they need. And the last target is here, which destroys this wall. And you get the objective complete. And after a couple seconds, this will disappear. Let's get some more stone, a couple more arrows. Okay, to make it to the other side of the wall. Looks like this is a bit too. The player can see that there are chests, there are totems there are some enemies that have bows, and if if they stay long enough, they will get shot at. Let's see. Our hunger's low, so let's eat some more. So the player can go through here, and as they're progress through, you can see there's more enemies being shot at. They can shoot each other, which is what you're hearing, and then there's another wall. When they get here to this wall, they can see that there's another door, so if they shoot this target, nothing happens for them, which is going to make them want to look for other targets. So when they come here, they can see, okay, there's a target here, and trying to shoot it from this angle can get them shot by all the other characters. Let's try it anyway. Oh. Nope, things are getting out of the way. So if the player tries to jump across, they fall in the ravine, and they get respawned until they can't do that. So let's go back a little bit. One of the passages that the player can take is up here, which is another chest. And here is an area for them to jump across. And they also see that there is a target right here for them. Oh, enemy spawning next to us. Oh. Okay, I'm not sure if I shot this target. Okay. Should probably have something where the target breaks so they know that they shot it. It's another bug. The wall's still there, so that means one of the other targets have not been hit yet. We were trying to reach for this one. 2. Pick those up. There's hidden one. Oh no. And the wall has broken. Enemies in the way. We can mark on them. And this is the spot where they can jump across, and they make it to the other side of this wall. And as they come to this area, they will see there is a place here with a boss running around, or I guess they'll see it as a bigger person. This is where that other landmark is, to delineate where the boss is. There's a few more power-ups for you to try to pick up. The free ones are always good to pick up. These ones cost coins, so 80, good 96. So there's a chance of getting electrical damage when you strike. And let's see. 64 wood. We need more wood. Arrows. So we are hungry. We're gonna start losing health from that soon. Okay, so with the arrows, we'll have as many as we can for the boss fight. If the player doesn't prepare ahead of time, knowing that this is the range level, they can definitely try to use the axe. The issue with the axe is that the enemy does a bit more damage than you, but you can still try to knock it out this way. But if you keep your distance, you can pepper them with arrows. And keep your distance. But shooting the bow does take stamina, it makes it harder for you to run away. Trying to get an animation in here for the bow pullback, and so they can see that it takes time to pull the bow string back. So they can't just spam like this, but we're out of arrows, so we can try to finish this off by hand. Some health back just in case. And there we go. The player has completed the level. They can either quit the game or go back to the main menu. Go back to the main menu, we see our splash screen again. Yeah. So again, my level was about archery, ranged weaponry, incorporated through the player and the AI. The mechanic of them having to get through these gates, metaphorically and physically, using the bow, using the arrows, make sure they can craft arrows and bows, and have enemies that can use ranged attacks against them as well, to make sure the player isn't just standing still on the move and is looking out. So thank you for watching. Again, my name is Jay Caesar, part of Project Peppermint and the Experiment Studios team. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is James Medrano and welcome to my sprint review. For this sprint review, I'll be showing off what I've worked on for the past 2 weeks and kind of giving you a walkthrough of my level idea and how I kind of reached the conclusions that I did. So I will launch our build, our executable build from Portforce. So yeah, we get our splash screen, start up, come over here to start, and our building level. So from the start, I wanted the player to be able to see the boss arena in the distance. I wanted to act as a landmark and give the player some direction and something to work towards. I really wanted to work on the framing here, so I kind of added some trees like right there to kind of play around it and use the rocks as leading lines. All right. And so from the start, we see our NPC Questgiver, and she just put a little tagline above her to help grab the player's attention. So we talk to her, and here's where she explains like the layout of the map and the building system. So you can see land masses in this area are separated, and unfortunately your swimming skills are less than subpar. Gotta deal with nightly enemies as part of the survival. Currently we have no tools. If we do die, I'll be able to show off the boss condition. It is very easy for the player to get overwhelmed, but once they get resources and everything, and players got to manage stamina. So failed, we'll go ahead and retry. This time we'll start on the objective. So we put 4 wood, and as you can see, it automatically tracks it. Right, and then open the crafting menu C and make a floor. So open the crafting menu, go down, and we see our ceiling floor, and we can craft it. The woman, and yeah. So inventory, we now have an axe and our floor, which we'll also put in our again. Okay, we have 2 chests. This one here is just a regular container, but we'll go ahead and take the wood that we can use later. And have a power chest now. But once the player gets tools, survival is a lot easier. Okay, and so we'll go ahead and pay to open this up. And then so now we have plus defense, so now we take less damage. And she's giving us some food and more coins. So the food will help us surviving, and the coins will be used for eat them from the inventory by left clicking. We can go gather some materials. And now we get to see how the building system can help us navigate the map. So we'll go ahead and create, let's go and make 10 floors. Okay, so We have 8, but that's because the stack size is limited to 8. So as we can see, when we have our building mechanic out, we can see that it's green for it can be placed, but if it's red, it just means it can't be placed. Place them, and then they snap together. This will allow the player to make bridges, or the player to make bridges. And now we're just out exploring, trying to find more things. And here we go, we got another chest here. So now we have better chance of dealing critical hits. After her to get our final quest, which is to kill the boss, which presumably is located in the giant structure. But we will walk through and try to get some power-ups because it is a very formidable foe, as it states here. Incredible power and can summon weapons to attack for him, so we're not going to just run in right now. And what we're doing along the way here is collecting wood because all of our building systems, or all of our structures take wood and will require the player to build. So as we can see over there, we have another power chest, so we'll try to go get that one. And the one thing I didn't want for the player to worry about was running out of resources, so I kind of used a lot of trees in the area, and because each structure doesn't just take a singular piece of wood to make, run our crafting table, and we can now show off our other ones, so we'll make 3 foundations. Put these into our hotbar, and come over here, and as you can see, this one kind of has stilts on it, so if we place it, it extends down and finds a valid floor. 80 coins, do we have that? We only have 53, so we're gonna have to leave this one for now until we can kill more enemies. The idea was to have, originally not to have like pieces floating and everything like that, like the player character, or the player is gonna have to use the foundations, but I felt like these floor/ceiling tiles played a little easier. Go ahead and kill these guys so that we can maybe earn some coins and a new power up. Okay, 69 attacks. We will keep picking up these resources too, because we can still make another thing like an iron pickaxe, which is ultimately an end goal. The boss is not an easy enemy, so we'll have to make sure we're well prepared for him. Go to replenish our hunger, and let's start building over here. Let's put it right there. And we'll go ahead and craft some more floors because they take less resources. So as we can see, we have a house which takes a full stack of wood, ceiling, windows, door, wall, standard wall, walls with windows, and walls with doors, and then our door. And I can go ahead and show off a bit of that here in a second. So, show different structures snapping together. So this is the foundation, but player can also place floors on it. Here and this guy. There we go. So now we're on a new landmass over here. Gonna clear out some of these ones in the ground. Okay. Keep worrying about the enemies. And look at that, we can see there's more power chests over here. There we go. And we have less damage thanks to the shield, which will come in very handy. Another thing is I wanted to place enough power-up chests so that the player could be rewarded for exploring. And make the boss fight a bit more manageable. Here, how much does this one take? 25, and we have 60, so we'll go ahead and pop this one. Now we jump higher. And we'll keep moving this way. And we will keep food on us at all times, just because of the survival aspect. And once our hunger depletes, then we start taking health damage, and that's going to make it even harder to survive. So, yep. And how much does this power-up chest cost? 80? And we have 65, so we cannot get to that one yet. We'll keep exploring though. We can see another power-up chest, a few enemies, and we'll have to reach that landmass over there. And we can rotate our builds to make it easier so that it's not just straight across like this. And let's make some more. I'll make another 10. Place them in our hotbar. And with the foundation, the player can raise and lower them as well. Check that. So here, make a foundation, and then we'll actually make, we'll build ourselves a little safe haven from enemies. So if we were to place a floor down here and move these items into our hotbar, we can see they snap to the edges and save their relative rotation. So like this. Oh, and we place that on top of him. I did it from in place, but this is cool because now we get to show off our structures. So the player can do a couple things if they place an item wrong. If they hold Q on it, actually move it around. If we right click, it will completely destroy it. However, if structures take damage, they'll fall apart and be destroyed. We'll show off some of the item snapping for the door. And once it's built, you can open it, you can close it. And the idea was to have structures like these act as a safe haven for the player character and give them a chance to survive. With enemies spawning every night, it's not a permanent solution, as the player will eventually have to venture out and collect more resources. As you can see, like, our health is low. We're gonna refill our hunger, and we're gonna need some meat. Go ahead and we can see some more resources over there. So let's go ahead and build in that direction. There we go. So now we have another bridge, and the idea is that the player character can connect all of these landmasses however they see fit. And if the player character were to fall in the water, they get damaged and reset to their last location before they fell in. You have 128 coins. Oh, sorry, 131. So 200. So but we'll keep an eye on it. Just collecting more resources along the way. And then we get some metal. Okay, this is going to be good because ultimately we want to craft a iron axe boss with. So this is another little reward for the player character exploring. So okay, so now we have more stamina. We can attack longer, run longer. Actions like jumping, attacking, and sprinting all take standard ones, so that will be very, very useful. Let's go ahead and craft some foundations to get across here. Okay, so we see that guy over there. I want what he has. For the foundations, if the player presses 2, we can lower it, and 3 raises them. Here. Right there. Let us jump up. 80 coins, and we have 119, so we're going to go and take whatever's in here. Now we deal more damage. We are getting low on hunger, and use the rocks for cover. And we'll collect some more metal. And just a little bonus for the player exploring. And maintain our hunger. But as you can see in the top right, we're kind of amassing more power-ups and everything, so missed it. Okay. Let's go ahead and go further to the map. There we go. And more enemies moving around here, keep collecting more resources. The idea is that foundations take more resources because you can kind of expand like that. So that's the idea. Got a whole area of the map over there, so we'll go check that out. I do believe power-up chests respawn 6, so we do not have enough. Do we have enough to craft a iron axe? We do. So gotta make one of those, and now we'll use this instead of our stone axe. So now we do a little bit more damage. We deal 12. Okay, this part just opened earlier. And we'll collect a couple more power-ups, and then we'll go to the boss area. Finish some health. And oh, okay, now we regenerate. Oh, that's huge. More metal. 29 coins to open, which is failure. Okay, and now we have 2 bills, so now we reduce the greater. I'd say that we are ideally strong enough to go fight our boss now. But we can see that there's other areas disconnected, and they all have power chests of varying rarity. So to our boss and see what we can do. Probably actually need some food first. Okay, moving. We do regenerate health, not regenerate health. That will have to be a the player has to look out for. 9 coins. Let's grab this power-up chest, and then we'll go grab that meat. And okay, so now we have even more stamina. Okay. That let's go ahead and craft our iron pickaxe. And how much wood do we have? Let's see. Okay, we got 2 stacks and then some. Okay. So if you read this, we know that we can block structures with, or block attacks with our structures. So we're gonna have to keep that in mind while fighting this boss. See if we can build over to him. Build over to the area. We do have another little piece of. Let's go gather that meat there. And every night it spawns more enemies, so it's not the code running multiple times. It just, as you can see, falling in very hazardous to your health. Whatever. 106 coins. Okay, let's 2 more floors. Let's search that under. Should we get Get our meat one. There we go. Alright. So now we are going to build over to that landmass there. And as you can see, it's a bit farther away. I wanted to make the... Made a little too many of those, but that's fine. I wanted to make the kind of end game area a little less accessible to the player, or to like what's it called? To like a player just exploring. I wanted to be very telegraphed that this is an area like a late game area. So as you can see, like on this landmass, we have rocks, but we have no trees, any other structures of that kind. Okay, and we have as you can see, this landmass has rocks, but nothing else on it, and there's still more that the player character has to build across. So this was my attempt at dissuading the player from wandering into an area too early. Okay. Swap between these two. Max damage is 4. Okay, we're definitely going to use. Oh, this is stone pickaxe. Right. Which is this one? 8, 10. Okay, we'll keep our iron axe here. All right. So, as we come into the boss area, you can see him. He's the only enemy with a name on him. And it would be easy for the player to run out after entering here, but I kind of wanted to make it a bit challenging. So when they come in, the wall closes behind them, and our boss starts launching his attacks. I wanted to give the player ample resources to beat the boss. Around the arena are multiple chests of wood, and this should be more than enough to kill Garganath. There we go. And what we'll do here is we will make some floors. Let's make 5 of them. This is kind of a little area of reprieve so that the player character doesn't feel punished for just coming in. So, if we build one right here, go across to him, we can see that he destroys it. So we need to be mindful of where we were placing our builds. Come in. Oh, where's the structure underneath us? Oh, we are infinitely falling. This is definitely an oversight. It took the place of our last area, and tried to spawn us there. So we will hurry up and get back to it, and I will come back to that area.
Hello, my name is Gabriel Rodriguez Cruz. I am part of the team Spearmint, and I will be playtesting my level in Project Peppermint, as it is called. We're Spearmint Studios, I should say more accurately. This is the latest build. I'll let it load up in a moment. There we go. As I said, Project Peppermint, we're Spearmint Studios. My level is Grappling Hook, which is what it's currently called for testing purposes. And here we are. I'll first begin by explaining why this area is like this. We are making a survival game, so this level would be attached to the rest of our various levels in one persistent level. So you step forward. Oh, here's the quest person. You speak to this person multiple times throughout the game. Wrote out little quests. We'll need a lot more metal if you want to get things fully operational around here. From what I hear, Grumtumbalus, the Mountain Lord, is hoarding a ton in his vault at the top of the mountain. I bet you can beat him no problem. You just need to find a way to get up there. Find a way to climb up the mountain. You accept. There we go. Tab. I don't explain a lot of the controls at this currently because this level is intended to be a much more late game, or at least mid game level. Tab bar. Track quest. Crafting. It's also why this axe is here, because normally this level is intended for you to go in with at least an axe and a couple other weapons. Some food here, because you will starve if you attempt to get through the level before without food. The person sees the enemies, jumps onto that, and immediately falls, introducing them to a falling platforms, and also surrounding them with enemies. Of course, they could just run past these guys if they want to, but considering, there's some resources down here. Also, enemies drop gold, so most players would be encouraged to handle them anyway. Taking some time to pick up the rock. So they climb up past there. They reach this area. Obviously, black pit, platforms. What they have to do is pretty clear. They get introduced to the metal, which is the main reason they're here in this area. These platforming is pretty easy, but it's intended to be. That's why I introduced the falling platforms before, by the way, so that you would know that will also fall, so you have to jump quickly. Platforming is easy because the main thing of the level is the grappling hook, which is right there. Excuse me. As I said, I don't explain how these tools work because by this point, players would have a pretty good idea of how. And it's the same as any other tool. You just left click and it activates. This one, how it works is pretty simple. You aim, and it pulls you forward. And that's going to be the main mechanic of this whole level. Players might notice this area up here. It's pretty noticeable. So they swing up, and here's just a little area with some extra metal. Just as a little way to get used to that mechanic. Pick up some meat. The meat apparently is a respawnable resource, but we may adjust that later on. Oh, right. I just skipped over this part. I'm sorry. When you enter, players will notice there's two paths. One, which is where they're intended to go, and the other one, which they cannot get up. Yeah, that path is just... Even with certain upgrades, which increase jump height and allow you to double jump, it's still just barely beyond what you can reach. So you get up there. The power-ups, I just say, are a thing. It's a main aspect of our game. Like, that's a random power-up that I just got. There's more meat up here. You'll notice that in my hotbar, the meat doesn't go down, but that's unrelated. That's its own thing. They step it here. It's a giant pit. There's a walled area over there. There's an opening there. And there's a white thing over here the players may or may not notice. If they do notice it, they might just ignore it. If they don't ignore it, they can hit it and break the wall. Of course, they could also just move past. I expect them to, but, you know, if they don't, that's also fine. Whoops. Apologies. Well, they don't die there, but guess I just timed it a little bit. I'm just gonna skip through here. Uh-oh. I ran out of stamina. Well, that's part of the ways that players are encouraged to not just skip through the area, because unless they have quite a bit of stamina by this point in the game, and even if they do, running through this whole area is without running out of stamina is kind of difficult. There we go. Up through there. Once again. Get the grappling hook. Equip it. And just swing around. Just gonna... There we go. Now we're through there again. That area is pretty easy to skip with a grappling hook, which is intentional. Also, because of how much the grappling hook lets you skip, it's part of the reason why I would intend this to be a more later game area. There you go. You get through there. And now you're in a room with a ton of enemies. There's these the falling platforms in front of you. And of course, there's that hallway over there. There's this white thing here. I slightly ran out of time. This whole area would have been full of like resources and honestly potentially more enemies. Sorry about that for the mic. Which would heavily encourage the player to actually follow through. Either that, or I just would have made it that you can't swing over here so easily. But as you can see, currently you can just swing by it. Oh, let me... I guess you can get through the level if you ignore absolutely everything without starving necessarily. You get up here. And now you're in the boss room with a lot of enemies. The boss... Now, while I swing at the boss and do this, I'll explain some stuff. This whole encounter would have been as an actual level would be designed more. Oops, use this to escape, which is the intended way of using the grappling hook in the boss fight. Well, currently, these platforms, I had planned for them to respond to the grappling hook directly. So that if you hit them, rather than bring you towards them, the platforms specifically would fall. They would then fall on the boss and do a lot of damage. And then like there would be more like platforms that respawn. Whoops, I died. Oof. But we're pretty much at the end of the level, so I'll just continue explaining. They would fall on the boss, do a ton of damage, and that's essentially how you'd fight him. This would be a boss that may not do like a ton of damage, but it would have a lot of health, which you could theoretically grind down, but using the platforms was a more realistic way of doing it. Obviously, I didn't get to that part of the design, but after you defeat the boss, that actually I will show this part. That door at the end of the room, which I hope you saw, it was an orange door. It would open immediately upon the enemy's death, and that would be the gate. And then you would enter, get a bunch of iron, and leave. For testing purposes, it just you enter and the game ends. But as like an official level, you would just be able to leave through there. There'd be like an area, since there's no fall damage and we're not intending to add fall damage. You just walk through there. Much like that door that I'm pointing at in the center. Which is a perfect opportunity for me to show off what those are. These are breakable walls, as I showed before. You can look down, see these fall. that little fall is a little harder than it looks, which is intentional, admittedly. But for testing, it's a little embarrassing to fail a jump that I've done like 1,000 times at this point. But both of those are breakable walls. I will admit that the physics on the grappling hook is a little wonky, admittedly. I've improved them a lot since I first tried working on it, but improvements are limited. Whoops. Okay, well, this is it worked out fine. You're normally supposed to just jump down on that platform and then get in here, and then you're done. The other platform is intended to be considerably harder. Because that platform, to get onto it, you have to swing. Oh. And then land on the platform, jump, and then break it. I've done it before. I guess it's a little more difficult when I'm recording. But that is my level. And that's how it's designed. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.
Hello, my name is Jordan Maysonet. I am the level designer for Spearmint Studio on our game Project Peppermint. This is the latest build, as you can see, 9.10. Our latest build. Start. Go to my world. Okay, so before we do anything, I just want to show off my mechanic. So the sliding mechanic, as you can see, when the player hits Q, which is a sliding bind, it takes away 25% of the stamina bar, just to show that sliding will take more than running. This is the NPC. The NPC will give you a quest. The quest is to clear the village and find a switch to open the castle gate, find Garganath, and defeat him. Defeat Garganath, the castle ogre. So the village is straight ahead of us. We go. We hit C to see what we can craft. We want to make let's see, we want to make an iron axe. We need 3 metal, 4 wood. So before we do that, we're going to need stone axes, which is going to be 2 wood, 3 rocks. So what we're going to do is going to beat up this tree. We have wood. We just got 4 wood, and we're going to beat up this rock. Some rock. And then now we're going to craft this stone axe. Actually, we could craft a stone pickaxe. I need that there. Craft a stone pickaxe. Hit C. Come over to the inventory. Drag the stone pickaxe. Close the inventory. And we have our stone pickaxe. We have the little minions coming after us here. So let's get some more materials. Let's get some wood. Okay, we got rock. Okay. Oh. We got some rocks. We got metal. Grab some metal. There's 2 metals over there that I see. Yo. Whoa, these little guys are hitting hard. Alright, let's get some meat. Alright, we got metal here. We're gonna need some. Alright, so let's see if we can get this iron axe. See if we can craft it. Can we craft it? Oh, we can. So let's go to our inventory. Let's get this iron axe, swap it, grab this meat. We're gonna need that for that fight at the end. So see if we get any apples from these trees. Okay, let's press the switch. Press E to interact. Oh, the gate is open. Alright, let's go. Get some more meat before we leave. Okay, so let me just run. See if we can run over there. Our hunger is low, so we're just gonna eat some. I need some more. Perfect. We're chilling. We currently do 10 damage right now. Let me see if I can get some apples from these trees. No apples? Dang, come on, give me an apple. My RNG is not good here. So what the player is going to be doing is, after they cleared the village, gathered resources, they're going to make their way to the boss fight. This boss fight will take place in this battle arena. There he is. There's the boy himself, Garganath. Alright, come fight me, man. So the player is just gonna... Curly got him stuck. There we go. His internet's kind of bad. Let's take some meat to heal. Get him to chase us again. Come on, get us to chase us again. There we go. Yeah, he kind of gets stuck in sometimes. And that's it, you win.